Hello, my friends from Rocky Mountains and Sozen's Temple. Now, now that I think about it, friends from Angel City also took Jukai. So, sorry, I should have mentioned you in the last few email video messages. But anyway, um, it's also good for my review and study. So I'm sharing today the part of the fourth chapter from the meaning of practice and verification, Shushogi, as you prepare yourself for your Jukaya. Chapter 4, Making the Vow to Benefit Beings. Repentance in the second chapter and precepts you take in the third chapter. If these are things you kind of reflect on, internalize, um, fourth chapter, making the vow to benefit beings. This is how you kind of externalize the value that we take inside. But it's also what that means is what's internalized really is what matters because it will come out in a way that's uh, not something. Sometimes it's not, I shouldn't say aligned. It needs that. Well, if it does come out externalized in a way and something feels off, then it's also a good chance for us to reflect on it and then come back and see how we are internalizing the value and teachings. So this is part of it. There are four kinds of wisdom that benefits living beings: giving, kind speech, beneficial deeds, and cooperation. These are the practice of the vow of Bodhisattva. Giving means not to covet. In principle, although nothing is truly one's own, this does not prevent us from giving. Do not disdain even a small offering. Its giving will surely bear fruit. Therefore, we should give even a line or a verse of the Dharma, sowing good seeds for this life and other lives. We should give even a penny or single blade of grass of resources, establishing good roots for this world and other worlds. The Dharma is a resource, and resources are the Dharma. Without coveting reward or thanks from others, we simply share our strength with them. Providing ferries and building bridges are also the perfection of giving. Adding a living and producing goods are fundamentally nothing other than giving. Giving without expecting. I think you hear this at Christmas time. I think I heard that in a small town of Canada also, where my son was born. And it's a Christian value as well, to give without expecting. Yes, I love that. Sometimes, some places you have the tradition where you leave the gifts to strangers and they just kind of disappear. So you don't know where the gift's coming from. I heard in Asia, Southeast Asia, there's something like that. You're supposed to give. You do not want to hear what that, let's say, the money is used for, because then the merit sort of disappear. It's interesting. What I took this because when I was a kid, I had this super big inferiority complex when it comes to giving, and that kind of comes is traced. It can be traced back to the experience in grade 4, I think, when we had a Christmas party and we are supposed to bring a gift of our own. I think budget was like $5. It's for kids. It's a small gift exchange. And I just couldn't find a gift that I thought I could buy with that $5 budget. And I gave one of the toys that I had. But in Japan, you have to kind of has to look nice, right? Really nice. And when I wrapped it up and brought it over to the friends, it wasn't a boy, it was a girl because it was a random exchange of presents. And we're never supposed to tell where they came from. And then she didn't look exactly so happy. And then that's kind of stuck in my memory, and I just feel so bad when it comes to gift giving. Maybe that's where my complex feelings when it comes to gift giving is stemming from. um, yeah, it takes some attention, yes, especially when you give gifts in Japan. And then we always think about, yes, but it's the thought, it's the caring spirit. Now, with the teaching of giving here, it goes even deeper. It is the understanding of non attachment. That includes our freedom from not just attachment, freedom from our resentment. So maybe I have to free myself from these complex feelings. So that's why Dana Paramita is really a great thing to look into. It's how we free ourselves from this that binds us, holds us back. And that includes the giving of just a simple thing like saying thank you, or just giving a smile, or sometimes, interestingly, it's kind of giving very straightforward, like no. That's also an act of giving. Of course, it depends on the whole context. Not holding back. I think that's the word in New York Zen Center of Contemplative Care. They were using this particular word. Not coveting. Be able to say thank you for everything with total freedom from what's holding us back, what's keeping us resentful. I think you can think of a situation when you get back to your families on Thanksgiving and Christmas. It's a beautiful occasion, yet you have these layers of histories that builds into some kind of a complex feelings, especially families, relatives, siblings. Now, how can we be giving without that things, resentment, attachment? So that's where the practice occurs. One of my students, Doshin, she's good. I really admire how she practices giving. Because I'm Japanese, I said it initially here that it has to be meticulously wrapped. It has to look super nice. But then because of that, I just have this tendency to hold back, hesitate, because I don't want to be giving something that they don't might not want. So, but she just had my students have been helping me a lot, understanding. I think in this particular North American culture, you can whip up something, you can create something just out of your, I don't know, something warm from your warm heart, or maybe put a piece of candy or fruit, and it doesn't have to be fancy, you know, and it doesn't really have to be limited to items or monetary offerings or anything. It's, as I said, it's just one word of thank you, one word of take care. Oh, one word maybe asking how their families, loved ones, children, siblings, how they're doing. Sharing the resources. And that's like some, if you can play piano, that's a great resource. If you are just good at, I don't know, some foreign language, that's also a good resource. Again, depends on the context still. But it's um, it'd be useful to, no, I mean, it'd be good to look at active giving that way too. Um, it takes in all different forms. It's again, it's an uh, externalization of the understanding of non-attachment, freedom from resentment. So again, the first of these four a practice of bodhisattva of giving is can be seen that way. So, it has kind of depth and also a little more extensive understanding, if that makes sense. And clearly, this is something that I keep working on. And yes, I can't not say enough that I am working on this every day. Constantly failing. So, yes, but that's just honestly how I feel. That's number one, giving. And I'm sure Kath and Sean, all your friends, can share that as they practice this. And interestingly, this is one of the 6 parameters, which means something we pursue to perfect, just constantly to cultivate, work on. I guess that's it. And I'm sure, please keep looking around. There are so many wonderful teachings about this. Whether you approach this as one of the 6 parameters or one of the 4 bodhisattva practices. All right, thank you.